Good day. Welcome to Dutchess Talk Radio. What's happening in the Lower Hudson Valley? I'm John Marino, and we are produced by Sharc Creative, made possible by Tompkins Mahopac Bank, by Robeson Oil, by Lipolis Electric, the house and service built by. Also, Hightower Westchester, managing your wealth up and down the Hudson Valley to a fiduciary standard, by White Plains Hospital, by Michael Labriola, landscape design and construction of Armonk. Michael Labriola works all throughout the Hudson Valley too. And we here at Dutchess Talk Radio are joined by Melaine Rottkamp, the president and CEO of Dutchess Tourism. Dutchess Tourism president and CEO Melaine Rottkamp. Let's talk about all the wonderful amenities here in Dutchess County throughout the fall, heading into the holidays. I just love driving up Route 22 through Pauling, and you're on that stretch with Wagner Road on one side going to Pauling High School and the Pauling Trinity School football field and open field area on the other side. And when you drive through that stretch and you see the Christmas lights, nothing looks better than that.
We have an abundance of riches here. You know, it's we could talk all day. We only have a short amount of time, but there are so many beautiful places to explore in Dutchess County and throughout the Hudson Valley. Pauling is really beautiful. They've got great things going on. Every village and town puts their own flavor and spin on it. So it behooves you to go to all of them, really. Everything from Beacon is very artsy and craftsy. They've got a lot of neat things. They've done lit trees made out of old bicycles, and they're always doing something really cool and different. And then you've got, the village of Rhinebeck and the lights they have there, and the big Sinterklaas event that's always the first Saturday of December. The city of Poughkeepsie, not to be outdone on the first Friday of December, has their parade and festival. And they've got some really big floats there that are really neat. Some great pieces of art, replicas of the Cunning Hackett Center and an old steamliner that used to come up the Hudson. And so that's fun. Millbrook is beautiful. The shops are great. Millerton, Red Hook, Tivoli. There's so many fabulous places to explore for a great getaway weekend. If you want to feel in the spirit, Dutchess County is the place to go. And there's always something new happening. So this year at the fairgrounds up in Rhinebeck, they have a new drive-through light display that they're doing that is going to be really wonderful. And if people are still worried about COVID and safe activities, that drive-through experience is going to be terrific for you. And there's a couple other ones happening around the county as well.
Now, what really strikes me about Dutchess is, you talked about it too, how divergent it is from the southeastern corner of the county when you get out of Putnam County and you get into Pauling. And then you kind of draw a line going all the way northwest to Rhinebeck, to Tivoli, to that area there, Red Hook. And that's a totally different look and feel up there. How do you bring it all together to make Dutchess one?
That's a great question, because Dutchess County is 800 square miles. It's really big. And we do highlight in our guide and on our website, we do break it down a little bit. You've got that Eastern Harlem Valley corridor, that really rural, bucolic, beautiful drives, that area. You've got the really commercial center on the other side, with Poughkeepsie as the county seat. And then Southern Dutchess with Beacon and Fishkill and East Fishkill and all the activity happening there. And then that Northern Rhinebeck area. But we're all Dutchess, we're all together. And so one of the things that unites us is those great estates along the Hudson, those historic homes. So everything from Mount Julian in Beacon, and that historic Dutch home that has its roots in colonial days and the Revolutionary War, but the impacts that they had as well, coming up with, James F. Brown was their master gardener at the estate, and he was a formerly enslaved person who had his freedom here and really built a great life for himself, owning property and making a mark on the community. And then, you come up to Locust Grove, the home of Samuel Morse, and the Young family and the Livingstons had lived there, and that's in Poughkeepsie, and that's a great privately run historic estate. And then, of course, Hyde Park has those national parks. So the FDR home, the library and museum, the Vanderbilt Mansion, Eleanor Roosevelt's home, just north of there is Statsburg State Historic Site. That's a beautiful state-run site. They do a great Downton Abbey themed tour. So that whole Gilded Age And then working our way up to Willerstein and Rhinebeck and Montgomery Place and Annandale, and those kinds of pieces unite us. Our food unites us. We have amazing farms. Right now it's Hudson Valley Restaurant Week, and that's throughout the whole Hudson Valley and as well as here in Dutchess. But I think our farms here are the best, and they provide the best fresh ingredients to all our restaurants. So, we don't have buffalo wings. We don't have garbage plates. We don't have, some of those iconic regional foods, but everything you have here is going to be fresh. So no matter what style of food it is, and we have all kinds of styles of food here. And I feel like in the last couple of years, even more and more of those are opening, and that's really fun and exciting to go explore. So, I think our food unites us, and the craft beverages that we have here, from all our breweries to our distilleries to our wineries. We have a place that makes mead, which is a honey wine. We have a meadery here right next to a brewery in Poughkeepsie, and the cideries, popping up with the farm. So all of that is a great way to unite us, and a great way to get people to go out and explore our community, and through that craft beverage and through that food story that we tell.
Dutchess is filled with history. You alluded to it with the FDR residence over in Hyde Park. And Dutchess seems to preserve their history better than most. It seems like you make a point of doing that.
We try really hard, but it comes down to the people who lived here. FDR started his presidential library while he was still in office. It is the first presidential library and the only one used by a sitting president ever. And he knew that it was going to be important to preserve all that information. Certainly that time in our history was incredible, with you looking from the Great Depression and through World War I and World War II and everything that happened here, and having that saved and managed by the National Archives. So that was his vision. And the same thing at the Morris Estate. The last person who lived there, Mrs. Young, bequeathed that to a foundation to keep it up and to keep that history there. And with the state-run sites, it's that foresight from all those people, and then the stewards that we have now that take such good care and do an amazing job of telling the story, and sometimes in new ways. Because a lot of times people go to a historic site, they say, "Oh, I've been there, I've done that, I've seen that." But our sites do a great job of telling different stories, telling the stories maybe of the kitchen staff, or the groundskeepers, or tying it in. Statsburg, we talked about earlier, they do a Titanic themed tour because the Mills family who lived in that house had return tickets on the Titanic. Their friends, the Astors, were coming here and they sank with the ship, but the Mills were set to go to England on that ship. And so they're able to talk about, we can't see what the Titanic looked like other than through James Cameron's movies. But if you go to Statsburg State Historic Site and some of those mansions, you see the level of opulence that they expected. And they expect that in their home, but also when they traveled. And so the ship had to be at least as grand as their homes that they lived in. So I think that our storytelling here is tremendous.
Also in Dutchess, you do a great job of preserving open space to make sure that you can do all the things that you want to do at Dutchess Tourism.
Absolutely. Dutchess County has more than 200 parks with more than 400 miles of trails.
More than 200 parks in Dutchess County?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
I know. Everything from that part of the Appalachian Trail running through the southeast corner of our county through Pauling and that region. Everybody knows about Mount Beacon and Breakneck Ridge, and they're amazing. But that's not the tallest mountain in Dutchess County. The tallest mountain you have to go to Millerton for. That's Brace Mountain. That's even higher. And that's part of that Taconic Ridge in the Berkshires. This view behind me is from the Ferncliff Forest Fire Tower in Rhinebeck, and it's gorgeous. And we have two other fire towers. There's one on Mount Beacon, but there's also one, it's Dissing Mountain. And so you don't have to climb mountains or fire towers because
you can just come and take pictures, right?
Yeah, you've got the walkway over the Hudson, which is fully accessible. They have a fabulous new electric tram, so people who have mobility issues can still get out on the walkway and experience those gorgeous views of the Catskills and the Hudson River. So that's accessible to anyone, and it's electric. It's sustainable, so that's great. And we also have rail trails. We have the Harlem Valley Rail Trail, which was just expanded from 10 miles to even more paved. It goes all the way into Columbia County, starts at the end of the Wassaic train station. So people from New York City can come up, get off the train, hop right on that rail trail and explore that beautiful countryside. And then the Dutchess Rail Trail, which now connects as a part of the Empire State Trail to Brewster and the Maybrook line. So you can ride your bike all the way from New York City to Montreal and from Albany west to Buffalo. There is no shortage of ways to get out and enjoy our outdoors.
And you get a lot of people who come to New York City and make the Hudson Valley trek. They go to Dutchess, they go to Orange, they go around Ulster, Sullivan, Rockland, Westchester, to Putnam County. And obviously, that is a willing group of tourists who want to see and know and learn about what the Hudson Valley, and in particular, what Dutchess County is all about. Then they spread the word back home, regardless of whether they come from someplace else in the U.S. or overseas.
That's right. And that overseas is a big piece of that. Is, we get a lot of day trippers. We love our overnight people even more because they stay longer, they spend more money, and that's good for our economy, that's good for our residents. And then those international visitors that we market to, they spend 3 times as much as domestic travelers when they
3 times as much they spend as domestic travelers.
They do. They have
makes sense because it could be a once in a lifetime opportunity for them.
Right, and they have more vacation time than we do to spend.
Yeah, they do.
They
right?
can stay longer in places, and we're jealous of that, and we're looking forward to when our international borders open on November 8th to fully vaccinated travelers, so we can start to welcome back more of those international visitors. And we partner with our friends in the Hudson Valley region to market our area, because the Hudson Valley is a known region. People have heard of Napa Valley. We're not Napa Valley. We're better than Napa Valley, because in addition to the wine and the food, we have the history, we have the art, the culture, the performances, and the things like that. So they've heard of that, and we harness ourselves onto that. We call ourselves in Dutchess County, New York's backyard. They can come to the city, but when you want to relax, put your feet up, get out, see the beautiful greens and the colors of the fall, you want to come up to Dutchess County, and the train is an easy way to do that. So, go absolutely enjoy the Big Apple, but, come beyond the Big Apple, come up to Dutchess.
We get vacation time?
Yes.
I'll have to look into that.
It's one of those things, if you don't take it, no one's going to give it to you.
Exactly. Right. Like I said, I'll have to look into that. Not today or anytime soon, though, especially with the holidays here. Melaine Rottkamp, President and CEO of Dutchess Tourism. Melaine, I think also, too, what Dutchess County is about, and you talk about the wineries and the apple picking this time of the year, and the Hudson Valley during the fall is my favorite place to be, whether it's Dutchess or someplace else in the Hudson Valley, without a doubt, someplace above the confines of New York City, no doubt about that. And as we move into fall, we look at things that people from other places and regions do, and how people locate and relocate. We had so many people during the pandemic relocate to Dutchess County, some permanently, some for just a little bit, and they go back home now as the situation with the pandemic seems to improve, but they'll obviously keep their Dutchess residency and come up to the county again from time to time, which is good. Yet we have Columbia University that has a campus, Vassar College, correct? Annandale-on-Hudson. When you see a place like Columbia University invest in Dutchess County, and I also know a number of people who go to Vermont, who go to Massachusetts, who go to Litchfield, Connecticut, right next door to Dutchess County, who could take many other routes to get to where they're going. If you're coming from Wilton or Norwalk, Connecticut, you can go up Route 7 and through northern Fairfield County and get onto Route 7 and go to Litchfield. But no, they'll swing all around, go up 684 and up 22 because they want to see the sights of Dutchess County. Or somebody going to Vermont or to the Berkshires, for example, they want to see Dutchess County and enjoy and experience Dutchess County, no matter how much extra time it adds to their trip. And I think that's about the best tribute you can get.
We are lucky that all those folks who relocated, I would wager that at least 95% of them started with a leisure trip, or a vacation trip or a weekend getaway. And they were here, they saw it, they liked what they saw, and they said, I want to live there. And that's how most of, people come to an area, especially an area like what we have. That's how business investment comes to our area. It starts with that leisure trip. And they see it as an exciting place to be, and they want to bring their businesses here. And even during the pandemic, we lost a few, but we gained more than we lost. There are so many new businesses popping up, and it's really exciting. So for those folks who have been here before, I encourage you to come back, because there's always something new. I have a tourism bucket list. There's things that I still haven't even gotten to do, because they keep coming, new things all the time. And that's
you have no time to do these things, though, right?
It's a little bit of a challenge. It is.
Yeah, a bit tricky.
I think, I think I'm too good at my job, because two of my childhood best friends, like many during the pandemic, we would connect on Zoom or whatever, because we're living in different parts of the country. And we really came to the point where we said, we need to get together. We need to be together and spend time together. We miss one another. Our lives are really busy. Our kids are grown now, and we can go and do stuff. And I figured we would meet somewhere in the middle, but no, they wanted to come here. Mm-hmm. So they came here. They stayed here for 4 days, and we got to go do some of those things. I said, all right, if you're coming here, we're going to go do some of those things on my bucket list that I haven't had a chance to do. And so we planned that great, for me, a staycation. And it was a lot of fun for me to show off my home county to them. And they loved it. We had a terrific time. And so, I think that there's future trips planned, because, of course, we didn't get to do everything we wanted to do, because there is so much.
I learned the Hudson Valley pretty quick. My first professional job in radio in 1979 was in Orange County, 1979, 1980. And at that station, we had listeners in, and therefore it had to market to Dutchess, Rockland, Sullivan, Ulster, and Westchester at that time, to every other Hudson Valley county. So I had to learn those counties quick. I had to learn marketing to those counties quick. I had to learn everywhere, every place, every locale in each of those counties at that time, going back over 40 years. So I learned immediately what the Hudson Valley was all about. It stayed with me ever since. You talk about the day trippers. How about all the people who wound up working in Dutchess or someplace else in the Hudson Valley? And that's how they learned what Dutchess and the Hudson Valley is all about. Not only started by working there, but eventually moved to Dutchess County as a result.
Yeah, that's a great opportunity, great audience for us to connect with. And a lot of them follow us on our social media, on our Facebook, on our Instagram. They watch our videos on YouTube, and that helps them to get to know the area. And one of the things that we've been doing is I'll go and talk to, let's say, all the new residents who came from New Vance Health for their program, did a presentation for them on, yeah, you're going to be here and you're going to work really hard, but you need to also take time for your own wellness to explore some of the things and have some fun. And here's where you can do that. We're working with Global Foundries too as a talent attraction. A lot of people have never heard of Fishkill or East Fishkill or Poughkeepsie or Dutchess County. And so how do we help them know that their quality of life when they come here to work is going to be great? And that's why they should choose to come here, because of all this richness of activities that you can see and do here. We've made presentations to the folks at IBM and been in Central Hudson's newsletter. And so helping locals know and appreciate, because you're right, when you live in a place, you don't take time to go do the fun things there are, unless family and friends are coming to visit you. In the same way you would do if you were taking time on a vacation. So the answer is to invite all your friends and family to come visit you, because then you'll have an excuse or reason to go out. And if you're not sure where to go, go to DutchessTourism.com, call me up, say, Melaine, I need help. Where can I go? These are what my friends and family like to do. And we can help you plan that great experience for everyone. And then you'll look like a hero.
Now you're jogging my memory banks, because I did begin my career at WTBQ in Warwick and Orange County, but I had an offer at the same time. And I took the Orange County job because it was a full-time offer. The Dutchess job which I'm just remembering now was a part-time offer at WSPK, WBNR in Beacon, SPK in Poughkeepsie, 104.7, WBNR in Beacon, and they are part of the same ownership group like they were back then, different ownership group nowadays, but they are still together after all these years. So I went to the studios in Beacon and I came up by train. And I remember specifically getting off the train in Beacon before I went over to the station and walking along the Hudson River by the train station, did the same thing when I came back to the train station. And I came back to the Dutchess County Fair in 1991. And I remember having chili made by Firehouse Chili, considered to them the hottest chili in the world and the best chili made anywhere by the Rhinebeck Fire Department at that time. 1991, I remember petting the goats at the Dutchess County Fair. I remember just what an experience it was to be there that day. I've been to that fair and ever since, and that's one of the staples of the county for decades.
Yeah, without a doubt, the Dutchess County Fair is one of my most favorite events of the whole year. We moved here in 1993. We have never missed a fair, with the exception of the COVID year when we didn't have it. And we are serious fair goers. We start at 10 a.m. when that gate opens, and we leave at 10 p.m. when it closes. And we, even though going year after year, we found fun ways to do different things to make it interesting. And, you always have those fair favorites, and nothing beats fair food. And the milkshakes that the Dutchess County Agricultural Society does that's what you do first. That's the rule. You walk in the gate, doesn't matter what time of day it is, you get in line, you get your milkshake, and then you can do the rest of your day and go see the animals. So, I love the Dutchess County Fair. It's the end of August every year, and 6 days of glorious salute to agriculture that we have here, because we do have that. And it's the perfect way to let folks know. And it's a special place. But the fairgrounds has a lot of other incredible events through the years too. The New York State Sheep and Wool Festival in October every year is huge. People have no idea how big this event is. And you don't have to be somebody who knits or is into all of that. It's just a really fun, cool event to go to. And that's always in October of every year. They host antique shows and car shows and just a lot of other terrific events throughout the year. So they're well equipped, and I am looking forward to that new drive-through holiday lights festival that they'll be doing there in December for the first time. So
yeah, what's up for the holidays in Dutchess? It's time.
Yeah, so like I said, Rhinebeck, you'll have that starts on right before Thanksgiving, that drive-through experience. They have Sinterklaas, which is an incredible Dutch family festival that culminates with their parade of lights. City of Poughkeepsie lights and their parade on the first Friday of December. In terms of mansions, normally all the mansions decorate. This year we're still not quite there yet, but Statsburg State Historic Site is going to be all decorated, as is Locust Grove and Poughkeepsie, and I'm looking forward to that. Locust Grove, one of the things that they do is called Sunset Sensations. It's during the week, and they have a chef who does a tasting, and they pair it with wines. And during the holiday months, you get to go in the mansion and enjoy that. It's a wonderful part of our holiday tradition that we always take advantage of. And then throughout the year, in the spring and summer months, that includes the garden tours that they have there with their master gardener. And they'll talk about how to use those fresh fruits and vegetables in your cooking in your own home kitchen and your own garden. So that's a great experience that Locust Grove does in Poughkeepsie. Holidays shopping. Everybody is so worried and stressed about the supply line and getting their gifts early. And my answer to that is give your family the gift of experiences and time with you. My family knows that they can get me a gift certificate for a massage at Mirabeau Inn Spa in Rhinebeck any day of the week. They
know, right? And you're not shy about telling them too.
Yeah, no, experiences.
Right? I do the same thing.
Problems with massages. or having wine tastings and pairings at our beautiful wineries. Those are great gifts, performances at the Bardavon Opera House or any of our other great theaters, tickets to a special dinner at the Culinary Institute of America. These do not affect, the supply chain does not affect them. So shop local, shop those great artisans, local craftspeople, shop at Hudson Beach Glass. Oh my gosh, what they produce there in Beacon is amazing. And so you can be the best gift giver of the year just by shopping locally and taking advantage of the wonderful artisans and the different experiences that we have here in Dutchess County.
Like they say, don't be shy, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Now, how do you find out more about Dutchess Tourism and all the great things being offered around Dutchess County? The website, email, phone numbers, etc.
That's it. Website, DutchessTourism.com. You will find lots and lots of great ideas and suggestions, itineraries for trips, top 10 lists. We do top 10 events each month. So you always know what's going on. I think you'll love it. We redesigned the whole thing back in May, and it's a tremendous resource. Email info@DutchessTourism.com if you've got some specific questions that you want answers to. The phone number is 845-473-4000. So that's a great way to reach us too and ask those questions. But social media, follow us on social media, the Facebook, the Instagram, the Twitter. Watch our videos on YouTube. We did a series of videos that packaged a lot of our drone footage, and we call it Air Dutchess. And we just released one this week that highlights the walkway over the Hudson. Each one takes a different aspect. So we've done motorcycling through Millerton. We've done fly fishing at Orvis Sandinona. We've done Fishkill Farms. We've done the Ferncliff Forest Fire Tower. We've done Innisfree Gardens. There's a whole lot of great videos out there that will inspire you to come visit.
And Dutchess County in the Hudson Valley, quite inspiring, no doubt. Melaine Rottkamp, President, CEO of Dutchess Tourism. We thank you for joining us here on Dutchess Talk Radio. Much appreciated.
My pleasure, anytime.
And happy holidays to you and yours, Melaine.
Thank you, and to you.
Thank you. Melaine Rottkamp, Dutchess Tourism here on Dutchess Talk Radio. I'm John Marino, and we are produced by Sharc Creative, made possible by Tompkins Mayapack Bank, by Robertson Oil, by Lipolis Electric. Don't be left in the dark. Get Lipolis by Hightower Westchester. Managing your wealth up and down the Hudson Valley to a fiduciary standard, by White Plains Hospital, by Michael Labriola, Landscape Design and Construction of Armonk. They work throughout the Hudson Valley. Catch all of our Dutchess and Orange, Westchester and Rockland, Putnam and Fairfield County Talk Radio programming on our YouTube channel, Sharc Creative YouTube.